with the fear of missing out, right? Sort of Alice in AI land, people want to charge headlong. And you need to think about sort of like what's the decision that you're trying to impact? What's the workflow that you're trying to change? Who uses it, where and when? What does better mean? I think picking a single primary KPI, the key performance indicator, is a good idea. And then have a couple of guardrail metrics. And actually, guardrail metrics in this case, we'll look at the next slide. We'll have a couple of examples, but it means, hey, let's make sure that if you're moving the KPI in the right direction, you're not breaking other things, which can happen. Also, you have to say, well, if we're trying to improve that workflow step or improve that decision, what's the baseline today, right? How long does it take to make those decisions? What kind of error rate do we see? How does that decision impact revenue? So what is our revenue based on the way we're doing it today? And then what's good enough, right? So if here's the baseline, what do we need to be able to get out of this project so that we'll go, yep, that was actually having a positive impact on our business. And then how are we going to measure that thing? And we have seen a large range of ways of measuring things. And I'll talk about one particularly nice example in a minute. So, are we going to do some offline evaluation? Are we going to run it over historical data and see would we have done better? Are we going to do some online A/B testing? So, like what might that look like in the context of a sales organization? We go, hey, we've got these sales development representatives that roll in every morning, and there's a bunch of new inbound leads. And what they need to do is they need to figure out what's an ordering for the leads, right? So who should we contact first? We got limited time. And like, what's the message or what are we going to offer to them, right? So very clearly what we're trying to do is influence who do the SDRs go after first. The KPI in this case is like, what's the meeting rate? So if we look at 100 leads and the SDR is sort of reaching out to them, what fraction of those are converted into leads, right? Now, the guardrails in this case could be that's great. We want to get more meetings, but we don't want the unsubscribe rate to go up, or we don't want people complaining about how annoying our SDAs are, right? So guardrails could be something like that. Then the baseline, it might be the case, hey, like 8% of the time, 8%, 8 out of 100 of these leads that come in get converted into meetings. It takes about 6 hours to reach out to them. And it would be good enough if we got a 15% lift, if we went from an 8% rate to a 9.2% rate, or maybe a 20% reduction in the amount of time it took us to actually reach out, that would be good. And what we'll do is we'll do A/B testing. So we'll say, all right, hey, we're going to randomize by leads or by territories. And we'll say, you people are going to do the old method, which is just like think about it and figure out who you should contact. Then what we'll do is we'll have this AI system that's going to be ranking, and we're going to measure the sort of conversion and the guardrails for 2 to 4 weeks, right? So that's what it needs to look like. It needs to be very specific. And I will say that I have seen many times where there's an AI project that we've worked on and we're like doing what they asked us to do, and somebody from the C-suite rolls around and goes, "Okay, like show me how this is helping me," right? And then people scramble to tell a story. So having the story in place at the beginning is just incredibly helpful.